Welcome to the Barry Charles Footy Show. What a weekend of footy. Yes, absolutely. Jack Wighton biting. See you later to the Raiders. What a way to go out. Jarrod Croker saying bye-bye to the NRL. Newcastle, are they the real deal in 2023? The Broncos beat the Hoodoo. Penrith Panthers are looking well and truly the team to beat them, going for the three-peat. And the Roosters begin to crow, and we will obviously talk about the Warriors and Melbourne Storm right here, right now, at Barry Charles Footy Show. Welcome back, guys and gals, to the channel. Yes, straight to it, the biggest talking point out of the weekend, Jack Wighton biting Tyson Gamble. Did Tyson Gamble deserve to get bitten? Some people would argue the matter. Yes, obviously Tyson Gamble had his hand around, and Jack Wighton is debating that he was getting choked by Tyson Gamble, but does that excuse the bite? So a lot of people have got all different things, but at the end of the day, you can't bite, mate. I don't care what sort of thing, you just can't bite. It's an absolute ridiculous. Not good for the Rabbitohs because he could be out for a while. We'll see what happens with that space, but absolutely not looking good at all for Jack Wighton. Could be, well, we know Brad Morin was like 12, 14 weeks, something like that. Oh, there's some crazy stuff in the biting thing, or maybe there was a punch-up a long time ago. But anyway, I remember there was a biting one that was a long time, so it's not good for the Rabbitohs. Well, just when they need some good news, they're going to have more bad news coming, I'm afraid. But yes, Newcastle are the real deal in 2023. But will they get past the next round? That is the next question. They got it done, but they choked in the first half, no doubt about it. And they were starting to choke at the end of the game. But when it got to the extra time, it was Raiders that choked. They were right in position for a field goal early in the first 5 minutes extra time, and they went for the try. Absolutely ridiculous. They were right there, could have taken the field goal. It was too late. The field goals after that. They had the opportunity right there, right in the perfect opposite instead they kick it to the corner for a bomb. What were they thinking? They were listening to Andrew Johns. They should have listened to Billy Slater, who is the Meister. Absolutely disappointing. But yeah, it was a big game, and they're going to have to travel to New Zealand and find a way to beat the Warriors, who are a bit shaky themselves, to be honest, and are relying on Shaun Johnson. Yes, for the Warriors fans. Yes, I was at the game. It was very disappointing. But there were some positives in the game for me. The forwards were going well. Yes, the forwards of the Warriors were going very, very well. For Noah Blake, Mitchell Barnett, Jazz Tavanga, Tohu Harris. So the forward pack were doing their job. I think they were doing better than Penrith. Honestly, I think they were playing better, the forward pack. But unfortunately, as I've been saying all season, I was just not convinced on the Montoyas, the Pompeys, the Rockaberries. When the pressure gets on, will they do the knock-on-a-thon? It happened, unfortunately. Knock-on-a-thon, the defence got carved up right when we needed them. Dylan Watini Selesniak, even though for all his great attacking, his defence is not up to NRL standard, and it's been proved all season when he's under pressure. That is going to be key for this game if they're going to beat the Knights, because the Knights will pressure that side of the field, or both sides of the field with their players. So, bit of question marks over the Warriors defence out wide. It's come back to haunt them like it has over their whole career. They've been carved up over their whole history out wide. It's always been the case. And it's still happening right here, right now when the mattered against the Panthers. They just cut them to shreds. It's not just them. Obviously, Dylan Walker was out of place, and Tim Martin's only had a couple of games back. Now, in the press conference, Andrew Webster said, yes, I want to go with these guys again if Shaun Johnson is out. Are you kidding me? Dylan Walker had an absolute shocker. And Tim Martin is, he's okay, but he's no Shaun Johnson. Don't get it wrong. Neither of these two are anywhere near Shaun Johnson's ability. Ronald Volkman, I was surprised when I actually turned up to the game that they had listed Dylan Walker as the half, well, Tim Martin the halfback, and Dylan Walker at 6. It should have been Ronald Volkman. It should have been straight in. He's played all season New South Wales Cup in the number 7, and they have just let him out to dry when they really could have done with a general that actually plays 7 consistently. So they missed a trick there. The Warriors would have changed the result. Well, it could have. We'll never know because Ronald Volkman is definitely more of a halfback than these other two that they put in there last week. No offense to them, but they're just not up to their level. I think Ronald Volkman's there. But for number 6, I can understand Tim White much, but halfback, not so much. So your question marks for the Warriors going forward is whether Shaun Johnson is playing. If Shaun Johnson plays, they win. Simple as that. I'll allow it here. If Shaun Johnson plays, the Warriors will win on Saturday. But if he doesn't, it's a long road ahead for the Warriors. They might still be able to do it, but Newcastle are full of confidence. 10 in a row, Newcastle Knights. The Broncos, yes, the Broncos beat the hoodoo of the Storm. And the Storm looking for 14 in a row. Absolutely got their ass banked. Yes, 26-0. Yes, 26-0. Absolute shellacking. The Broncos are going to be the team that could beat Penrith in 2023. At the moment, I do not see any other team being able to do it. But this is the thing here. Melbourne Storm, no, it doesn't mean they're not going to beat the Roosters next week. But on the players on the field, I know they've got Cameron Munster, they've got Jerome Hughes, Harry Grant, Ryan Papenhuyzen. That was sad to see. Obviously, we've got to talk about that as well. He just can't take a trick. Ryan Papenhuyzen, absolutely disappointing. But he expected to be back early. I thought he'd be out for another long time, but apparently he's going to be back to play whether he plays round 1. I'm not sure, but let's hope that there's the end of the injuries for him because it was very sad scenes at the game. But getting back to the Storm, I'm just not convinced this season. And the Roosters have a better team, but the Roosters now have got injuries. If Joey Manu and Sawalhi were playing, I would say Roosters definitely, but now it's just hands in the air. Maybe it goes back to the Melbourne Storm. So with all the injuries of those two teams, I can't see them winning. On the other side, this is where I think if anyone's going to make the grand final, outside of Penrith and Broncos, is on the Broncos side of the jaw, and the winner of the Warriors and the Knights. I think they're the only team out of the teams left that can beat the rival going forward. I'm not saying they will, but the Warriors and the Knights are the only two that have the ability to beat the Broncos currently. But against Penrith, I don't see Melbourne Storm doing it. I don't see the Roosters doing it with the injuries. If they were fully strength, maybe. But I think Penrith just about got half their hand on the premiership. I can't see anyone getting close to them on that side. The Broncos, yes, they're in form. But I just got a funny feeling that the Knights of the Warriors, whoever gets through, could pull off a big upset. But if I'm being totally honest as well, if anyone's going to beat Penrith this season, it's the Broncos. But yes, to me, the other two teams, the Knights and the Warriors, are the only other two teams that could absolutely make a chance of doing something in this final series. Shaun Johnson would have to play 10 out of 10 for the Warriors. Absolutely, Shaun Johnson, not just him, the rest of the team will have to play 10 out of 10 of the Warriors are going to have any chance of making this grand final. But realistically, it's Penrith and Broncos to lose. It should be the grand final. To be honest, if you look at every other team, I can't see any other team beating these two in the preliminary final, even though I'd want the other team to win and say the Warriors get there. Clearly, I want the Warriors to win. But to me, just looking at their form, it's just not looking likely. Johnson will have to come in and do something because I do believe in the forward pack of the Warriors, but just out wide, Reece Walsh might just have an absolute field day. If it's not Cameron Ponga having a field day, that's my question mark. Do they make slight changes? Probably too late to make those changes if they were going to make changes in the back line, because that's my danger point. It always has been the danger point for the Warriors. I don't want them to be another Sharkies that go bang bang in 2023. Let's hope they do better than what the Sharks did last year. Yes, the Roosters crow. They are crowing their way to fight against Melbourne Storm with injury plagued on both sides of the field. But the Roosters have the players able to beat the Storm with the injury clouds over both these teams. There's a chance the Roosters can get it done. But I think after that, either team gets through, I think they're going to get smashed by Penrith. To be frank, on what I saw, what they did to the Warriors, and I think the Warriors might be a better team than these other two. Even without Shaun Johnson, obviously with Shaun Johnson now, they made the Penrith's day a lot easier, clearly. But I just got this feeling here the Panthers are going to absolutely spank whoever makes this game here. The Roosters have definitely got a chance, but the injuries have really crippled them now. Hargraves and Suoliki and Manu are out. Well, it's not. We'll see if Manu comes back. But there's big queries over both teams going into the next game. But yes, the Sharks, disappointing. Absolutely should have won the game. Wade Graham must be scratching his head. What was this team doing? They were looking like they were going to carve up, and then they just went away from the game plan. Too much sideways movement. It was too easy for the Roosters, who absolutely gave it all. So it was good to see. But yeah, well, yes, we got to salute. Yes, we got to salute Jarrod Croker. Thank you for all the memories. 300 gamer. I don't know why he wasn't playing. He should have been playing. I think he would have been the difference if he had played, but I don't know why they weren't picking him. That's up to Ricky Stewart. He'll have to live with that, letting him go. Disappointed, but we salute you. And Jack Wighton, even though he's left on a bad foot, he has been a Raiders legend for a long time. And just to finish off this episode, the Penrith Panthers, the three-peaters on. I'm not going to label it because I saw what the Broncos did. They were outstanding, but I'm not convinced Melbourne Storm are Penrith Panthers. So that's going to be the litmus test for the Broncos if they get there. If they can do it on the big stage against Penrith. We've been there, done that. The three-peaters on. They are clearly, for me, outstanding favourites. So it was an outstanding game for the Broncos, and I hope they play to their best because I'll be going for the Broncos in the final if they are there with Penrith. But Penrith look a class above every team still, and that's the way it is at the moment. Broncos are definitely the main target, but I think the only other targets who can beat them are either the Warriors or Newcastle. I don't know about beating Penrith in the grand final, but they have a chance in the preliminary final because the Broncos haven't been there. So they haven't been there for a long time. So there's an opportunity for all these teams on the side of the jaw that maybe they can crack under the pressure. But yes, Penrith and Broncos look the grand final right here, right now. But anything can change with injuries and everything. But let's get to the footy. Thank you for watching the Barry Charles Footy Show. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel and have a great day out there.